On October the 28th last, 15-year-old Mary Collins gave birth to an illegitimate and premature baby. A few days later, the police exhumed the body of a baby boy from the back garden of this house. The Home Office pathologist, Professor Stone, revealed that prior to burial, the child had been strangled. 2 days later, Dominic Collins, Mary's father, was arrested and charged with murdering the child. His trial by jury begins today in Fulchester Crown Court before Mr. Justice Bragg.
Changes in the child's heart and circulatory system, the presence of food in the stomach, and changes in the umbilicus which occur 24 to 36 hours after birth.
And from your examination, Professor, what did you deduce?
The child was born live.
So Mary Collins gave birth to a live child?
That is so, ma'am. If you wish, I can enumerate the various tests I undertook on the body of the child.
No, I don't think that will be necessary, Professor. I'm in favour of keeping the evidence as simple as possible. Miss Tate?
Oh, like you, my lord, I believe in keeping things simple.
Mr. Fry?
No, I can't promise that I won't have to go into detail, my lord.
Very well, Mr. Fry. Continue, Miss Tate.
What sex was the child?
It was male.
A little boy. Were you able to determine the cause of his death?
Yes. The body had been wrapped in a piece of blanket, but I was able to establish that the buried child had been asphyxiated, almost certainly by strangulation.
What indications were there, Professor Stone, which suggested strangulation?
There were a number of fingertip bruises and nail imprints found on the neck. The nail imprints are recognized by their crescent shape.
Now, as far as you were able to tell from the post-mortem, was the baby otherwise healthy and normal?
Yes.
It wasn't deformed in any way?
No.
A perfectly normal birth?
Yes.
Now, after the body of the little boy was exhumed, you examined the mother, Mary Collins, did you not?
I did.
Now, it may be part of the defense's case that Mary Collins, who is 15 years of age and still at school, successfully disguised her pregnancy from her parents. Now, Professor Stone, in your opinion, is this possible?
I should have thought not, certainly in the intimacy of the normal family circle.
Thank you, Professor.
Professor, there have been many, many reports, have there not, of cases of disguised pregnancy, even of cases where the mother herself was unaware until the last moment that she was pregnant.
Yes, but most of such cases have involved obese, overweight women, whereas Mary Collins is a slimly built small girl of 15.
Now, you said that the indications were that the body had been asphyxiated by strangulation.
That is correct.
And that it had been buried in the Collins' back garden for about 6 days.
Yes, 6 days.
Had there been any decomposition of the body whilst buried, which might have made the results of your examination less precise?
No, there was hardly any decomposition at all. The bitterly cold weather at the time would have prevented any rapid decomposition. It would take longer than 6 days in that cold.
Very well, Professor. Let us return to the details of the asphyxiation. Now, you say that there were fingertip bruises and nail imprints on the neck of the child.
Yes.
Is it not correct that marks very similar to these are produced following a mother's attempt at self-delivery?
Well, yes, that is possible, but
Thank
on
you,
the
Professor.
other hand, when one...
A few moments ago, you told the court that, in your opinion, the child had been strangled. Now we hear that the evidence you relied on could have been interpreted in another way. Come now, Professor, please make up your mind. We are not playing lucky dip.
Mr. Fry, you do not have to remind me that we're in a courtroom and not a fairground. If you would kindly permit me to finish what I'm saying...
Fry, I'm quite sure that Professor Stone does not regard this trial as a lucky dip.
No.
Continue, Professor.
The point is that there are always a number of factors to take into account when assessing cause of death.
Well, in this
Apart
case,
from the
Professor,
markings on the neck, I found the following. Intense congestion of veins, innumerable petechial hemorrhages, pinpoint blood spots over the skin, heart and lungs, and lastly, frothed fluid in the air passages. Now, these factors, together with the markings on the neck, led me almost without doubt to just one conclusion.
And what was that, Professor?
Asphyxiation by manual strangulation.
You're very positive about that.
Yes, I am.
As positive as you were in an article you wrote for the Catholic Doctor, a medical publication, on the 4th of January 1971. You are a Catholic, Professor.
Yes.
I would like, with the court's permission, to read a couple of brief extracts from this article, my lord.
My lord, Professor Stone wrote this article 2 years ago. What possible relevance can it have today?
The background and attitude of any witness, particularly an expert witness, can be of great importance, Miss Tate. You may read your extracts, Mr. Fry.
Thank you, my lord. Professor, is it not true that you wrote an article in the Catholic Doctor on infanticide?
Yes.
In which you said, and I quote, Infanticide is an evil crime which man by his laws forgives more easily than does God. Did you write that?
Yes.
In the same article you said, it is a crime peculiarly abhorrent to the Catholic, representing as it does the destruction of an innocent human being. You went on to advocate sterner penalties for infanticide, did you not?
That is correct.
Do you still hold those beliefs, Professor?
Yes.
Can you honestly swear that your religious beliefs would never influence your evidence?
No, sir, of course I cannot, but in this case the facts are clear.
But with respect, Professor, your evidence also contained opinion. For example, you said that it was possible that the bruises on the child's neck were caused by the mother's desperate attempts at self-delivery. Now you opt for a different conclusion.
Mr. Fry, your lordship, my opinion, as you call it, is based on years of experience and study. It is true that I'm a Catholic, but I'm also a forensic pathologist. I submit to two disciplines, and I've never yet known the demands of my church or of my profession to conflict.
A final question, Professor. Would it require great strength to strangle a premature child?
No, not great strength.
Could any person of average strength, man, woman, or child, have strangled this baby?
Yes.
Thank you.
You may stand down, Professor.
My next witness is Mrs. Elaine Hill. I apologize, Rosa.
Mrs. Elaine Hill, please. Take the testament in your right hand and read aloud the words on the card.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Are you Mrs. Elaine Hill of 36 Tenniel Crescent, Fulchester?
Yes.
You live next door to the Collins?
That's right. They live in number 34.
On the 3rd of November last, did you go to the police?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I thought it was my duty. You see, it was obvious that Mary Collins had been pregnant, and now suddenly she wasn't. So what had happened to the child?
You were worried about the child?
Yes.
Rightly, as it seems, Mrs. Hill. Now, what made you think that Mary Collins was pregnant?
Well, you only had to use your eyes. Mind you, I will say she disguised it well.
How?
Well, she goes to one of those comprehensive schools where they don't wear school uniform, and for several months she'd worn smocks. That is, when she went to school, she was away a lot of the time.
Did you ever have conversation with Mr. Collins or his wife about their daughter's absenteeism?
Yes, I asked Mrs. Collins if Mary was ill.
And what did she say?
She said no, she wasn't ill. It was something to do with the religious instruction at the school. I believe Mr. Collins is very religious.
But you say it was obvious to you that Mary was pregnant.
Yes. You must remember I've known Mary ever since the Collins moved into 34.
How long is that?
11 years. Mary was 4 when they came.
So you know the family well by now?
No.
Not after 11 years?
Well, I don't think anyone can claim to know the Collins well.
Why is that?
Well, they're not very approachable people, particularly him.
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Would you explain that?
Well, he has some very strange religious views. He started to explain them to me one day, but I wasn't very interested, so he never spoke to me again. I mean, literally. Not even good morning when I spoke to him first, which I didn't often do.
But you were on speaking terms with Mary and Mrs. Collins?
Oh, yes. Of course, if Mary was with her father, you never got a chance, but otherwise she was very friendly.
And what about her mother?
Oh, Evelyn was only too happy to talk to anyone, poor thing.
Why, poor thing?
Well, she couldn't have had much of a life at home.
Why not?
Well, he treated her as if she didn't exist. I mean, she was left out of everything. I mean, if Mr. Collins went out, he took his daughter with him. He never took his wife. He thought the sun, moon, and stars shone out of that child.
Would you describe his affection for Mary as obsessive?
Lord, quite apart from the fact that my friend is leading the witness, I fail to see what these questions have to do with the case.
I will rephrase the question, my lord. Mrs. Hill, would you say that Mr. Collins was devoted to his daughter?
Devoted? He was silly about her. I mean, nothing was too good for Mary. The money that was lavished on that child's clothes alone...
What made you think that Mary had had the baby?
Well, I hadn't seen her for about a week, and then when I did see her, she was obviously slimmer. I mean, she'd either been on the most incredible crash diet, or she'd had it. The child.
Did you speak to Mrs. Collins?
Yes, I saw her a few days later, and I asked how Mary was, and how she'd managed to lose so much weight all of a sudden.
And what did Mrs. Collins say? She said something, did she?
No, she didn't. She just ran off, which was very odd for Evelyn. I mean, she usually enjoyed a chat, particularly when he wasn't there.
That's Mr. Collins?
Yes, it was the only chance she ever got.
Now, can you remember an incident taking place in the Collins house shortly before November the 3rd when you went to the police?
Oh, you mean the row? Yes, it was the night of October the 28th. There was a terrible row in the Collins house.
A row?
Oh, yes, shouting and screaming. You've never heard anything like it.
It surprised you?
Well, yes, because normally the Collins were as quiet as mice, but you could hear this the other end of the crescent.
Did anything else happen?
Yes, the morning after, that's after the row, I noticed a small patch of garden had been dug over.
You were surprised?
Yes.
Why?
Well, Mr. Collins wasn't a keen gardener at the best of times, and I remember noticing only the day before the state of that vegetable bed, and then suddenly there it was, a small patch of freshly dug garden. Well, I mean, it didn't make sense.
Why not?
Well, if he was going to dig the garden, he'd have dug the whole bed, not a small patch 4 or 5 feet square.
Did you immediately suspect what had happened?
No, I didn't. To be honest, I didn't connect the row with the garden.
When did you do this?
Well, a few days later, I saw Mary, and I simply mentioned that her father had been doing some gardening.
Did Mary react?
Yes, in the most extraordinary manner. She screamed, "Oh, it's all so awful," burst into tears and ran off.
And then you went to the police?
Well, I talked it over with a friend first, and then I went to the police, yes.
Thank you, Mrs. Collins. Mrs. Hill. Wait there, please.
Miss Hill, why did you wait for a week before you went to the police?
Well, I wasn't absolutely sure. I wasn't imagining things. I mean, the only thing I really couldn't understand was how Mary could have got pregnant in the first place.
Why?
Well, her father never left her out of his sight, and she never went out with boys. In fact, she rarely went out at all. She didn't seem to have any friends come to the house, girls or boys. Well, suppose I'd been imagining it. Suppose Mr. Collins had merely been burying some rubbish in the garden.
What made you change your mind?
Well, my friend has a daughter who goes to the same school as Mary Collins, and she said there had been some complaints about Mary, that she couldn't leave the boys alone.
No, it's a lie, a lie. She mustn't say it.
Mr. Collins.
My daughter's not a whore.
Mr. Collins.
She's not a whore.
Mr. Collins, if an accused person's behaviour interferes with the course of a trial, then a judge has the power to have him removed and to proceed in his absence. You understand then? Are you ready to go on?
Yes, I'm all right. Let's get on with it, please. I'm sorry, my lord.
Very well. Mr. Fry?
Thank you, my lord. Mrs. Hill, you said that your attention was attracted to the Collins household on October the 28th because of a row. Shouting and screaming, you called it.
Yes.
You could hear them at the other end of the crescent, you said.
Yes.
Who was shouting and screaming?
Who?
Yes, who?
I don't know.
Mr. Collins, Mrs. Collins, Mary Collins?
I don't know.
Why not?
Well, I didn't hear exactly.
Well, what were they shouting and screaming then?
What?
Surely you were able to distinguish the odd word.
No.
Well, perhaps if you'd gone out into the garden, you might
I
have...
did go out into the garden.
And you still couldn't hear anything?
No.
Perhaps this wasn't such a violent row after all. Perhaps there wasn't any screaming.
There was.
Loud enough to be heard at the other end of the crescent?
Well,
Did any of your neighbours complain about this violent row?
I don't know.
Did any of your neighbours later mention this row to you?
Well, no.
Oh. Well, perhaps we'd better turn to another point of your evidence, Mrs. Hill. Now, you said that it was obvious to you that Mary was pregnant.
Yes.
When did it become obvious?
I don't remember.
Well, was it in July?
No.
Earlier? Later?
Oh, it was after July.
August? September? October?
Well, at the end of September, I suppose.
No more than 3 or 4 weeks before the birth of the child.
I suppose so.
Can you be sure of the date?
No.
You mean it could have been only 2 or 3 weeks before October the 28th?
Well, I think it was earlier than that.
You've known Mary Collins for a long time. You've known her for 11 years. Yet you didn't suspect that there might be anything wrong until 3 or 4 weeks before the child was born. She must have disguised the pregnancy very well.
I've said she did.
Well enough to keep the secret from her parents.
My lord.
Mr. Fry, I don't see how the witness can possibly answer that question.
As your lordship pleases. I withdraw the question. Now, Mrs. Hill, I'm very interested in this argument you had with Mr. Collins, after which he never spoke to you again. It was about religion, you said.
That's right. Well, sort of.
It wasn't about religion.
Well, Mr. Collins and I had always been very friendly. He always used to stop and chat with me in the street if ever we met. Well, one day he started to talk to me about religion. Well, I was in a hurry, and anyway, I'm not religious. And he does have some very strange ideas. Well, he must have seen I wasn't interested. Anyway, a little later, I was sunbathing in my garden in my bikini, and he suddenly leaned over the fence and started shouting.
Shouting?
Yes, something about Babylon and mystery. I didn't understand it all.
Babylon, the mother of harlots and of the abomination of the earth?
Yes, that's right.
The Scarlet Woman, Lord. The revelation of St. John the Divine. And on her forehead was a name written. Mystery, Babylon the Great, etc., etc.
Your biblical erudition is impressive, Mr. Fry.
I come from a long line of clergymen, Lord. Ah. I think Mr. Collins was protesting about the brevity of your bikini, Mrs. Hill.
Yes, I'd gathered that.
And after this incident, he never spoke to you again, not even if you spoke to him first.
No.
So from that time onwards, your relations with the family were never the same again.
Well, not with Mr. Collins, certainly.
And this occurred some time ago?
About 6 years ago.
And nor with Mary and Mrs. Collins, apparently.
Well, after a while, Mrs. Collins and I started to talk again.
With the old degree of intimacy?
Well, I don't know, really. It's hard to say.
Well, did you ever visit each other's homes again?
Not often.
Did you ever visit the Collins household when Mr. Collins was present?
No.
So your evidence about the relations between the Collins family, between Mr. and Mrs. Collins and their daughter, is at least 6 years old, isn't it?
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Let us now turn to another matter. It would seem that in spite of your study of Mary Collins, you were never quite sure that she had been pregnant.
No, I wasn't.
But the one thing that convinced you, wasn't it, was this story of your friend about Mary Collins and the boys at school.
Yes.
Now, why should this convince you?
Well, Mary didn't seem to see any boys. I mean, I just didn't see how she could have become pregnant, unless it was a virgin birth.
Blasphemer!
Mr. Collins, I warned you.
I'm sorry, my lord. It is blasphemy.
Mrs. Hill, I think your choice of words was unfortunate.
Well, I'm sorry, Your Honour. I didn't mean to give offence.
A final point, Mrs. Hill. You said that when you met Mary in the street and mentioned that somebody seemed to have been digging in her father's garden, she screamed, "Oh, it's all so awful," and ran off.
Yes.
What did you presume her to mean by that?
Well, that her father had buried the baby there.
But why?
It was obvious.
You didn't see Mr. Collins burying anything, did you?
No.
In fact, you don't know which member of the Collins family buried the child.
No.
Or indeed if it was any member of the Collins family at all.
Well, it couldn't have been anybody else, could it?
That is for the jury to decide, Mrs. Hill.
I would just like to clarify 2 small points, my lord. Mrs. Hill, although you never saw the Collins family en masse in their own home, was there any reason at all for you to presume that Mr. Collins had had a change of heart with regard to his daughter?
No, quite the reverse.
You're saying that he became more possessive?
Yes. You see, by that time, Mary was old enough to be taken out.
Did he take his daughter out as much as his wife?
Oh, much more, as far as I could see.
Now, regarding the question of burial, you saw no one digging in the Collins garden?
No.
Did you see any strangers in the area?
No.
Thank you, Mrs. Hill. That concludes the case for the prosecution, my lord.
You may stand down, Mrs. Hill.
I call the defendant, Dominic Edgar Collins.
What is your religion?
Christian.
Take the testament in your right hand and read aloud the words on the card.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
You are Dominic Edgar Collins, of 34 Tenniel Crescent, Fulchester.
I am.
What is your occupation, Mr. Collins?
I am a senior quality control officer of computer components at Tennyson Computers.
You've been described as a religious man. Would you agree with that?
I try to be.
You've taken an oath to tell the truth. You have sworn on the Bible.
I'm aware of that.
Do you regard the Bible as a holy book?
The Bible is the only book in which there is any truth.
Would you break an oath which you had sworn on the Bible?
I couldn't.
Did you strangle your daughter's newly born child on the evening of October the 28th?
I did not.
Did you know that your daughter was pregnant?
No.
Are you sure of that?
I know it sounds stupid. I can't think why I didn't notice. But it just never occurred to me that Mary might... I thought she was putting on a lot of weight.
You saw your daughter every day,
Yes?
but it never occurred to you that she might be pregnant.
No. You see, I kept her pure. At least I thought I did. She had no boyfriends. Wherever she wanted to go, I went with her. I thought she was not like other girls of her age. Foolish. Sensual. I tried to keep her pure.
But you failed.
I was proud of my daughter's purity. I was punished for it.
When did you first discover that Mary was pregnant?
When I found her.
Could you tell us what has happened in the weeks preceding that?
Mary had been off school for about 10 days.
Why?
She said she wasn't well.
Didn't you call a doctor?
She said it wasn't serious. A normal ailment of women. If a woman have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood, she shall be set apart 7 days.
Leviticus.
Yes. Mary said that seeing the doctor about it would embarrass her. I understood. I thought it was because she was pure. I thought that talking to a stranger about a thing like that might... I could see it would embarrass her.
And what happened on that day, the 28th of October?
Mary was upstairs in her room, lying down. My wife and I heard her cry out several times. My wife went up to see her. She didn't come down. After a bit, I went up. My wife was in the bathroom, trying to wash some of the bedding. I went into my daughter's room. I found her lying there. There was blood. Beside her lay this abomination.
Abomination. Did you touch the child?
No, I couldn't touch. All I could think was my daughter was defiled.
Was the child alive when you entered the bedroom?
It didn't seem to be.
When did you first realize that it was dead?
A little later. My wife was trying to help Mary. And I realized the child hadn't cried out. It was silent. I picked it up finally, and it seemed to be dead.
What did you do then?
I couldn't believe it at first. I thought I must be dreaming, or I'd gone mad.
And what did you do? Did you take it from the room?
No. It was such a small thing. I knew I ought to tell the police, but I couldn't because of Mary. She's only 15.
And then?
My wife found a piece of blanket. I wrapped the child in it. I went out into the garden, got a spade, dug a hole. I don't know. I suppose I put the bundle into the hole and covered it up. I don't see I could have done anything else. Do you?
A 15-year-old schoolgirl, Mary Collins, gave birth to an illegitimate and premature baby in her bedroom at home. Within a few hours of birth, the child was strangled and later buried in the garden of number 34, Tenniel Crescent, Fulchester. The police arrested Mary's father, Dominic Collins, for the murder of the child. And today, his trial continues at the Fulchester Crown Court.
must remind you that you're still under oath.
Yes, my lord.
Mr. Collins, yesterday my learned friend went to considerable lengths to establish that you're a religious man. Therefore, so runs the argument, because you have sworn an oath upon the Holy Bible, you are somehow magically incapable of telling a lie.
I have told no lies in this court.
Oh, come, Mr. Collins, you have lied, haven't you, about the death of that baby boy?
No, I told the truth.
Well, let us see. Firstly, you said you didn't know your daughter was pregnant.
That is so.
But you knew quite well she was.
No.
You said she'd been away from school for 10 days prior to the birth. A normal ailment of women were the words you used, I believe.
Yes.
Your daughter is 15 years of age. When did she first menstruate?
What?
11, 12, 13?
I don't...
You don't know?
She was 12, I think.
Are you really saying that for 3 years you remained in complete ignorance of your daughter's normal biological processes?
Well,
How long have you been married?
18 years.
And you're seriously asking us to believe that after 18 years of marriage, the female anatomy still remains a mystery to you?
No, of course not.
Very well, Mr. Collins. Well, let's consider the scene you described so graphically in court yesterday. On October the 28th, your daughter was in her room. She cried out. Your wife went up to her. You followed later. You found your daughter on her bed with this abomination beside her.
Yes.
What did you say when you saw your daughter with her baby?
I can't remember.
Oh, come now, Mr. Collins, you're on oath. You've sworn on the Holy Bible, the only book in which there is any truth, remember?
Yes.
You surely didn't remain silent.
I don't know.
You must have addressed some comment to someone, to the baby, to your wife, your daughter, your God.
I think I said, "My God, why hast thou forsaken me?"
That was to your God. Now, what did you say to your wife and your daughter?
I can't remember.
After a while, you picked up the baby,
Yes?
but it was dead.
Yes.
How did you know?
Well, it wasn't breathing. It was silent. It didn't seem to be breathing.
Were there any marks of strangulation on the baby's neck?
I don't know. There may have been. I can't remember.
You must have examined the baby fairly closely.
Yes, I suppose
Did
so.
you examine it in your daughter's bedroom?
Yes.
Did you examine it later when you took him downstairs?
Yes.
You were positive he was dead?
Yes.
You held him in your arms and you examined him?
Yes.
Were you alone?
Alone?
Was anyone else in the room when you held this abomination in your hand?
Yes, eventually.
But you were alone for a time with the child.
I suppose so.
Did you strangle the abomination then?
No, I didn't harm it. It was dead, I told you.
I find your choice of words very strange, Mr. Collins. I mean, you call this baby an abomination. It. As though the child were a thing. The child was your grandson.
Do you think I don't know that?
Then why use such words? Unless you find it difficult to live with the reality that you murdered your own flesh and blood.
I did not kill the baby.
Now, it's right, isn't it, that you made a statement to the police?
Yes, I did.
Will you look at that document? Is it the statement you made?
Yes, it is.
It is in your handwriting, isn't it?
Yes.
Would you read it for us, please?
On the 28th of October in the evening, I was downstairs with my wife. We heard a noise, and she went upstairs. After she had been gone a few minutes, I went upstairs to my daughter's bedroom. There was a newborn baby in the bed. I picked it up and took it downstairs. It was alive when I picked it up. Later, I buried it in the garden.
And that is the truth, isn't it, Mr. Collins? Not what you've been telling the court today.
No, the baby was dead when I went into the room.
Will you read the end of the statement?
This statement, consisting of 1 page signed by me, is true to the best of my knowledge and belief, and I make it knowing that if it is tendered in evidence, I shall be liable to prosecution if I have willfully stated in it anything which I know to be false.
If what you're saying now is true, that the baby was dead when you went into the room, then it means that you are saying that either your wife or your daughter killed it, doesn't it?
No, I am not saying that. That's why I made the statement.
Collins, would it be true to say that the Bible has been the prime source of inspiration in your life?
Yes.
It's a book much given to hyperbole, isn't it?
I don't understand you.
Well, that is to a somewhat exaggerated phraseology. For example, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads, and his tail pulled the 3rd part of the stars of heaven and did throw them on the earth. Poetic rather than a precise image.
It has a meaning.
Oh, yes, but it doesn't mean that a great red dragon pulled 1/3 of the stars, pulsars, quasars, and other stellar curiosities of the universe and threw them down into this globe that we live on, does it?
It's not to be taken literally, no.
Precisely. Therefore, when you use such terms as abomination, purity, defilement, and so on, do you use those terms in a biblical sense?
Yes.
Are you saying that the words are meant by you in a biblical rather than in a colloquial sense?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, when you entered your daughter's bedroom on the 28th of October, did you know what you would find?
No.
Were you shocked?
I can't describe it. It was like the end of the world.
You made a statement to the police that the baby was alive when you entered the bedroom.
Yes.
Was that statement true?
No.
Why then did you make it?
I feared they might suspect my daughter of harming it.
And you've told the court that the baby was dead when you entered the bedroom.
Yes.
This contradicts your earlier statement. Why have you changed your evidence?
I have sworn on the Bible.
Therefore, you have now no choice but to tell the truth, whatever the consequences.
Yes.
And so the baby was dead when you entered the bedroom.
Yes.
There can be no mistake about that.
None.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. That is all.
You return to the dock, Mr. Collins.
I call Mrs. Evelyn Collins.
Mrs. Evelyn Collins, please.
What is your religion?
Church of Ireland.
Take the testament in your right hand and read aloud the words on this card.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall be the truth, that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
You are Mrs. Evelyn Collins, wife of the accused and mother of Mary Collins.
What? Yes.
Mrs. Collins, first of all, I'd like to ask you something about your relations with your daughter.
I don't understand.
Well, sometimes parents and children don't hit it off together. It isn't anybody's fault, but it happens. What are your relations with your daughter? Are you close?
Well, not what you'd call close. Mary's always favoured her father, since she was a little girl.
She doesn't confide in you?
No.
But father and daughter are close?
Oh, yes.
Does she confide in her father, then?
Sometimes. Not always. She keeps things for herself. She always has.
A secretive girl?
Yes. Not mischievously, but she's a quiet girl, shy.
Did she tell you that she was pregnant?
No.
Are you sure of that?
Oh, yes.
If she had, would you have told your husband?
No. I don't know. I don't think so.
Why not?
Well, Dominic worshipped Mary. It would have broken his heart.
Now, your husband has said in evidence that you and he were downstairs and Mary was in her bedroom when you heard her cry out.
That's right.
What did you do then?
I went up the stairs to see what was wrong.
Did your husband go up with you?
No, he stayed down.
But he came up later?
Quite a bit later.
What did you find when you went into your daughter's bedroom?
Mary was lying on the bed. Everything was a terrible mess. And there was the baby.
Did you call for your husband to come up?
No, I prayed he wouldn't come up.
And what did you do?
Well, I went over to see if she was all right, and...
Yes?
I don't know. I thought if I could clean everything up, Dominic need never know.
So you started to clean up?
Yes, I did what I could for her.
Was Mary conscious?
And then I took the bedclothes into the bathroom.
Was she conscious?
Yes.
Did she say anything to you?
She said, "Please don't tell Dad," over and over again. It was the first secret we'd ever had from Dominic.
He'd only stayed downstairs, 'twould all have been all right.
But your husband came upstairs.
Yes.
Now, Mrs. Collins, my next question is very important. Was the baby alive when your husband came into the bedroom?
No.
Are you sure of that?
Yes.
Did your husband touch the child?
Finally.
Did he harm it in any way?
No.
Did he strangle the child?
No.
Was the baby alive when you went into the bedroom?
Yes.
Would you repeat that, Mrs. Collins?
Yes.
Mrs. Collins, did you understand that question?
Yes.
I think I had better ask you this question again, Mrs. Collins. Was the baby alive when you went into the bedroom?
It was.
Thank you, Mrs. Collins.
Mrs. Collins, I want to deal just with the condition of the child when your husband entered the room. Now, you say it was dead.
Yes.
You examined it?
Yes.
Closely?
Yes.
But you've just said that you were busy doing what you could for your daughter
Is
and
that
clearing
right?
up. Well, it must have been a desperate moment for
Oh,
you.
yes, it was.
You must have worked frantically trying to clean up that room so
Yes.
your husband wouldn't know.
Yes.
And yet, in the midst of this frenzy, you're asking us to believe that you'd time to examine the baby?
Yes, that's true.
Mrs. Collins, when your husband came into that room, you didn't know if the baby was alive or dead,
It
did
was
you?
dead.
How can you be so sure?
Don't you understand? I knew it was dead because I killed it.
Mrs. Collins, do you realize what you have just said?
Yes, my lord.
You have just confessed to the murder of your daughter's baby.
I know, my lord.
I must remind you that you are on oath to tell the truth.
I know.
And the law takes a very grave view of people who lie.
It isn't a lie.
Very well. Now, I must warn you that you needn't answer any questions that may incriminate you. You have a privilege not to answer such questions.
Yes. I killed the child.
Now, Mrs. Collins, it's right, isn't it, that you made a statement to the police?
Yes, yes, I did.
An oral statement to Inspector Goodland.
Yes, I told him the child was alive when my husband came into the room, but that wasn't true.
Then why did you say it?
Oh, I was confused. I didn't know what I was saying. I was frightened for us all.
You were frightened for you all, you say, not for yourself, as you would have been had you killed the baby.
For us all and myself.
Very well, Mrs. Collins. Well, let us look at this confession of yours. When did you kill the child?
You don't have to answer that question, Mrs. Collins.
As soon as I went into the room.
That was the first thing you did?
Yes.
Where was the baby?
Lying on the bed beside Mary.
Mary is your daughter, 15 years old. Your worst fears have been confirmed. She's just produced a child. She could be dead. She could be in pain. There could be complications. And you are asking us to believe that the first thing you did was strangle the child?
Well...
You didn't look to see how Mary was?
Oh, yes,
You
course
didn't
I
look to see if she was still alive?
Yes.
Well, when did you do it?
That was the first thing I did.
So, you attended Mary first.
Yes.
And then what did you do?
What I said.
But what about the bed covers?
What?
Well, your husband has said in evidence that when he came into the bedroom, you were in the bathroom washing bed covers.
Oh, yes.
And you yourself have said that you took off the covers, hoping to clear up the mess so that your husband need never know.
Yes.
Did you do this after or before you killed the child?
After.
How did you kill the baby?
I strangled him.
How?
With my hands.
With one hand or with two?
I don't understand.
I should have thought the question was very clear, Mrs. Collins. Did you put one hand round the child's throat or two hands?
I don't remember.
Well, let me put it another way. Did you hold it in your arms while you killed it?
I think I put both hands round its throat.
Both hands. Well, let me see what Professor Stone, the forensic pathologist, says. Professor Stone is of the opinion that the child was definitely strangled with one hand.
He's wrong.
Professor is a Home Office pathologist of great
He could be wrong. He could
no,
be
Mrs.
mistaken.
Collins, he could not.
I don't know what you mean.
Now, it has been said that Mary only ever went out with your husband, that he took her wherever she wanted to go.
Yes. Yes, he'd have done anything for Mary.
Did you go with them?
Yes, often. All the time.
Isn't it true, Mrs. Collins, that your husband paid you little or no attention, and that he lavished all his love and affection upon Mary? No. And that this confession is your attempt to save him?
No.
How long were you alone in the room with Mary before your husband came in?
Oh, I don't know. Not long. 5 minutes.
You were confused during this time, finding your daughter like that, being frightened your husband
Yes,
might...
of course I was.
Did you and your husband want to have more than one child?
I wanted more. Dominic didn't.
You're fond of children?
Yes.
And you're saying, are you, Mrs. Collins, that you, who are fond of children, arrived in that room, and although you were confused, you managed to ascertain your daughter's condition, to coolly kill that child, and then start cleaning up in that short space of time? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's true.
You're trying to save your husband, aren't you? My lord, I see no purpose in continuing the cross-examination of this witness.
Very well, Miss Tate. Mr. Fry?
I have no further questions, my lord.
You may stand down, Mrs. Collins.
No. No, please, listen to me. No.
Mrs. Collins, you must stand down.
Sorry, Dominic. Forgive me.
Last witness for the defence, my lord, is Mary Collins.
Miss Mary Collins, please.
What is your religion?
Christian.
Take the testament in your right hand and read aloud the words on the card.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Now, Mary Collins, you are 15 years old.
16 the day after tomorrow, my lord.
Well, I'm sure you're old enough and intelligent enough to realize that the importance of the oath that you've just sworn to on the Bible.
I must tell the truth.
The whole truth as you know it, without evasion or lying.
I understand, my lord.
Now, I realize that this must be very distressing for you, a very great ordeal.
I'm not frightened, my lord.
Good. Mr. Fry.
Thank you, my lord. You are Mary Collins of 34 Taniel Crescent, Fulchester.
Yes, sir.
Mary, on the 28th of October, you gave birth to a baby.
Yes.
How long had you known that you were pregnant?
About 6 months.
And did you tell anybody about your condition?
Who would I tell?
Your mother, your father?
No.
Why not? They're your parents.
Mother would only get into a state and end up making a mess of everything.
And your father?
Why, I couldn't tell him.
Why not?
I just couldn't.
You're very fond of your father, aren't you?
Yes.
Did you confide in anybody at school?
I'm not a confider.
Do you mean you don't have any friends at school?
Oh, I have friends. I just don't confide, that's all.
Well, did anybody at school guess that you were pregnant?
I don't think so.
You sure of that?
Well, if they had known, they'd have told me, or let me know they knew. You know what girls are like.
You sound somewhat bitter. Aren't you happy at school?
Oh, I'm quite happy. I'm just trying to tell the truth. It's what I'm supposed to do, isn't it?
Yes, of course, Mary. So then it's true to say that, as far as you're aware, no one knew that you were pregnant.
No one.
You must have been under a very great strain.
Why?
Well, were you not worried about your condition?
Not really.
You weren't worried?
Well, yes, a bit at first. I mean, it was awful being sick and all that and not being able to say anything. But it was fun in a kind of way.
Fun?
You really mean that?
Well, it was a secret. Something that I knew that nobody else knew. Kind of a game, almost.
You were away from school for 10 days prior to the birth.
Yes.
What reason did you give your parents for this?
I told my mother I wasn't feeling well. I told Father much the same thing. Oh, and I also said we had a new RI teacher.
RI?
Religious instruction. I told him she had some very modern views on the Bible.
Why did you tell your father that?
Because I knew he wouldn't send me to school then.
Why wouldn't he?
He disapproves of anyone that has different views on the Bible from himself. He kicked up an awful fuss when I started human biology.
But Mary, were you afraid that it was beginning to be obvious that you were pregnant?
I thought somebody would be bound to notice sooner or later.
Did it worry you?
Bit.
Did anyone say anything?
No, it was funny, really. I wouldn't have thought it were possible, but nobody said a thing. Well, except my mother, who said she thought I was putting on a lot of weight.
What about your father?
He said it wasn't healthy to get too fat. So I said I'd give up bread and potatoes. I did too.
The baby was born on October 28th. It was premature.
Yes. Well, I'd calculated from some medical books I had about another month. It never occurred to me to be premature.
I expect you were very frightened.
Frightened? Yes. I didn't know what it'd be like. The books don't tell you what to expect. I promised myself I wouldn't cry out, no matter what happened. But I did. Mother came up.
And what did she say?
Well, she got into a state. And she always does. She gets into states over everything. Well, I told her what to do.
You told her?
Yes. Well, I'd read all the medical books. I knew exactly what had to be done.
Mary, you are under oath, you know.
I know that, my lord. That's why I'm trying to tell you exactly what happened.
Do you mean to say that you swatted up on birth?
Yes, of course. Seemed the most sensible thing to do.
You say that you'd promised yourself not to cry out, but you did.
Yes.
I don't suppose you really knew what was happening, did you?
Yes, I did. I had to.
Was the baby alive when it was born?
Yes. It cried a little. It sounded strange.
In what way strange?
It snuffled a bit, like a puppy.
And what did your mother do?
I told her to take the bedclothes and wash them.
Why?
Well, I thought if she could clean the mess up, I didn't see why Father should ever know about it.
But about the baby, you could hardly conceal that.
No.
Now, did your mother touch the baby?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Did she kill the child?
No!
Well, how can you be so sure? You just produced a baby. You were surely in no state to be observant.
Well, I wasn't unconscious.
Did your father come into the room?
Yes.
What did he do?
Oh, it was awful. He was out of his mind. I thought he'd collapse.
Did he touch the baby?
Yes, after a bit he took it downstairs.
Mary, was the baby alive when he took it away?
Oh, no, it was dead by then.
How can you be sure of that?
Because I'd strangled it as soon as I was able to. It's what I'd always planned to do.
The case of the Queen versus Collins will be resumed tomorrow in the Crown Court. Schoolgirl Mary Collins gave birth secretly at home to an illegitimate and premature baby. The same day, the child was strangled. The police arrested Mary's father, Dominic Collins, and charged him with the murder. But this morning, in the Crown Court, Mrs. Collins, Mary's mother, confessed to killing the child. Later, so did Mary herself.
Miss Collins, you have confessed under oath to the murder of your child.
Yes, my lord.
Well, this is the second confession to the crime that we've had in the course of this trial. Your mother made a confession. Now you've made a confession. You were questioned by the police, but you said nothing of this.
I was scared.
Of the police?
Well, I didn't know what had happened.
But you're not scared now.
I'm still scared, but if I don't own up, you might find my father guilty.
Well, that is for the jury to decide. Now, under law, I am required to remind you of your rights in this matter, and I must warn you that you're not required to answer any questions which might incriminate you. I would advise you most strongly not to put yourself in the position where you can be charged with the crime to which you have confessed.
I understand, thank you.
Miss Collins, this so-called confession of yours.
It's all true.
Is it?
I'm under oath. I wouldn't have said it if it weren't.
Oh, yes. After every spectacular murder, there's always a flock of unstable, hysterical people wanting to confess.
But I'm not unstable or hysterical, Miss Tate.
Oh, no, I grant you that, Miss Collins. In fact, I'd go further. I'd say you're a remarkably cool, clever little liar.
But I'm not lying. Why should I lie?
To get your father off a murder charge.
But I risk being charged myself.
Oh, I'm sure you've calculated the odds very carefully. You're a clever and resourceful girl. You prepared for the pain of childbirth by reading medical books, you say?
Yes.
Did you prepare for the anguish of this trial by reading law books?
There's nothing wrong with being prepared.
Well, that depends on what you're preparing for. Did your researchers take you as far as the Infanticide Act? You did read the law about infanticide.
At school, they encourage us to research things for ourselves.
Then you did research the law.
Yes.
So you no doubt noted that there is a special defense against infanticide available to a mother who kills her baby in some circumstances. You knew that.
Yes, it reduces murder to manslaughter.
And you think that that defense is available to you?
Yes.
You're very fond of your father.
Yes.
He took you everywhere. You were constantly in each other's company.
Except when I went to school.
Do you have many friends?
Yes.
Are these friends who come to your house, whose houses you visit?
Well, Father's very strict about people coming to our house.
Did any of your girlfriends or boyfriends ever call at the house?
Not very often.
Were they made welcome if they did come?
Not very.
So most of your friends are the people that you see at school?
Yes.
Do you ever go to coffee bars or dances like other teenagers?
Not very often.
Have many of the girls in your class got boyfriends?
Yes.
So you decided that you weren't going to be left out?
Well, I wanted boyfriends like the other girls, yes.
Is that how you became pregnant?
Well, if boys can't take you out in the evenings or at weekends, well, you have to do something to keep them, don't you?
Have intercourse with them.
It's a horrible word.
Did you have intercourse with any of the boys at school? Now, you must answer the question.
Sometimes I did.
Who is the father of your child?
I'm not sure.
Why aren't you sure? Now, why aren't you sure? Could it be one of any number?
Stop it! Stop it! Leave the child alone!
Mr.
She doesn't know what
Collins,
she's saying!
I realize that this is very disturbing for you, but I think it is important.
But she doesn't know what she's saying!
Your daughter has confessed to a very serious crime, a crime with which you have been charged. I want to get to the bottom of it. I want to get to the background of all this. Now, are you not sure who the father was? Because it could have been one of any number.
No, not any number.
Well, then how many?
3.
So any one of 3 boys could be the father of your child.
That's what I said.
Have you any particular boyfriend?
No.
Miss Collins, I'm rather surprised that somebody who seems to prepare so carefully for everything as you do should have allowed herself to become pregnant at all.
Well, the boys didn't always take precautions, and I couldn't get the pill.
Why not?
Our doctor threatened to tell my mother.
So you approached your doctor?
Yes.
But he didn't tell your mother?
No.
Why not?
He made me promise not to have intercourse anymore.
Since you didn't keep your promise?
Well, it wasn't fair. He made me promise.
Excuse the interruption, Miss Tate. I do think the background of all this may help the jury. Please continue.
Don't you believe in keeping promises?
Depends on the promise.
Oh, surely it depends on how much you want to do a thing.
You're twisting my words.
Another thing you promised was to tell the truth in this court.
I have.
Is that another promise you're dispensing with?
I've told the truth.
Well, if it is the truth, why did you not tell the police before, instead of lying to them?
I didn't actually tell any lies.
You just didn't mention killing your own child.
No.
Why not?
I was scared. I didn't know what had happened.
And then You read about the defense of infanticide, the killing of a baby by its mother, and you saw an opportunity to get your father off and escape yourself.
No!
You have read about infanticide since your father was arrested by the police?
I've told the truth.
Have you? Well, you must admit it's a very convenient confession for your father.
I can't help that.
Would you have confessed had your father not been in danger?
I don't know.
Let's look at this confession of yours, Miss Collins. You say you strangled the child. With one hand or with two hands?
Now, Miss Collins, I've already advised you that you need not answer questions if those questions would tend to show that you had committed a crime. And I want also to tell you this, that the defense of infanticide only applies where a woman kills her newborn child, and at that time the balance of her mind was disturbed by reason of her not having fully recovered from the effect of giving birth to the child, or by reason of the effect of lactation consequent upon the birth of the child. Do you understand that?
May I answer the question now?
Yes.
I strangled the baby with one hand.
Where was the baby?
On the bed beside me.
Did you hold it in one arm and strangle it with the other hand?
Yes.
Where was your thumb?
Thumb?
On the baby's neck, so, or pressing on the Adam's apple?
I can't really remember. I just closed my eyes and squeezed. I didn't look to see what I was doing.
Why not?
Well, I hadn't killed anything before. I wasn't sure I could do it.
Did you find it came easily?
No.
Now, after this alleged murder, did you look at the baby to see if it was dead?
I looked. Wasn't making a noise. It didn't seem to be breathing. But I wasn't sure. That's the really hard part.
What?
Knowing if it was dead or not.
So you cannot be absolutely certain that you succeeded?
The child was dead.
I ask you again, can you be absolutely sure of that?
Yes.
How? You yourself said you weren't sure that that was the hardest part.
I know.
You're in your bed at home, alone, unprepared. Except, of course, for reading a couple of medical books under the blankets when no one's looking. Suddenly, you start to have this child prematurely. You are on your own. You can't cry out. You promised you won't, remember?
I didn't.
Are
Well,
you
not
really
till later.
saying? Are you really saying that you kept calm and collected throughout this time?
I didn't panic.
That child was premature. You had no anesthetic. You must have been in considerable pain. It must have come as a most ghastly surprise when you started to have that baby.
I knew I was pregnant.
But you'd got it all worked out exactly when you were having it.
It just came early, that's all.
That's all. That must be the understatement of the century. Mary Collins, you are 15 years old. You lay on your bed, exhausted, horrified, possibly half-conscious. You had to direct your mother in what to do. Why was that? Because you were physically unable to handle the aftermath of the birth yourself.
I'd read books.
I suppose you'd taken a course in midwifery as well.
No, of course not.
Well, what books had you read?
Well, there's a copy of Home Doctor in the house.
The Home Doctor?
I'd read other books as well in the public library.
Every girl's book on how to deliver her own baby, I
No,
suppose.
proper medical books.
It's a medical library.
No.
When you'd had that baby, you were so weak, so shocked, you cried for your mother.
No.
You said in evidence that you cried out.
Well, maybe I did cry out. But...
You were in such a state physically and mentally that you were incapable of killing a baby. I suggest that that thought never occurred to you at that time. It may have done later, but not at that precise time.
I killed my baby.
No, Mary Collins, it was beyond you.
I did.
It was beyond you because you're not really the cold, calculating monster you'd have us all believe.
I killed the baby. I did. Honestly.
No further questions, my lord.
My lord, there are one or two points I would like to clarify, points which my learned friend's dramatics may have obscured. Mary, did you kill your baby?
Now, Miss Collins, don't answer that question for the moment. I want to stress again that you need not answer questions if those questions would tend to show that you had killed your child. You understand that? You have what we call a privilege against self-incrimination, so you needn't answer that question.
I want
Understand?
to.
Very well, Mr. Brown.
No. Did you kill your baby?
Yes.
Why did you do so?
So Father wouldn't find out.
When you killed your baby, were you, what were the words my learned friend used? Half-conscious with pain and shock.
You need not answer.
I want to. I was feeling rather tired and weak and a bit sore.
But conscious.
You need not answer.
Yes. conscious enough to know what I had to do.
Were you strong enough to strangle the child?
You need not answer.
Yes. You don't have to be very strong, actually.
So you're sure the child was dead?
As sure as I can be. I think that must be why I cried out, why my mother came up.
So when your father entered the bedroom, the child was unquestionably dead?
Yes.
Did your father touch the child?
Yes.
Did he, so far as you can remember, at any time, hold the child around the throat?
No. Anyway, it wouldn't have mattered. It was dead.
Now, these books you read on childbirth, about how many did you read?
About 15 or 20.
I suppose some of them were pretty detailed and technical.
No, they all were. There's not much point in writing a book on childbirth unless you go into some detail.
No, indeed. And what about the home doctor?
I found that very useful. It's very detailed, has a lot of illustrations.
Now, Bennett, you've been in the witness box giving evidence for what must seem like hours. Have you lied during any of your evidence?
No.
Was your confession a deliberate ploy designed to discredit the prosecution's case against your father?
No.
Thank you, Miss Collins. That concludes the case for the defense, my lord.
Miss Tate.
Members of the jury, there can be no doubt, and it is not disputed in this court, that the child was born alive. Nor has it been suggested that the child died from natural causes. Now, only 3 people had the opportunity to kill this baby: Dominic Collins, Evelyn Collins, and Mary Collins. We have heard confessions from 2 women dominated by this one man, the accused. Let us first consider Mrs. Collins' confession. She admits that it contradicts the statement she made to Inspector Goodland, in which she says that the child was alive when her husband entered the room. Now, could this woman, who has said she is fond of children, wanted more of her own, in fact, be the sort of woman who could kill a newborn baby? Of course not. Her confession was a desperate attempt to shield the husband and daughter to whom she is instinctively loyal. Now, the mother of the child, Mary Collins, has confessed also to having murdered the baby. But this differs from her original statement to the police, when she omitted this fact. Now, Mary would have us believe that she planned her every move right up to the murder immediately after the birth. But I ask you, members of the jury, could such a cold, calculating girl ever have got pregnant in the first place? Or would she not have had an abortion to rid herself of this obviously unwanted baby? And yet, this girl, who is only 15 years of age, suddenly and terrifyingly gave birth to a premature baby. She would have us believe that she remained calm enough, strong enough, and determined enough at that particular time to then kill the baby, and then to direct her mother how to assist her and to clear up. Now, I would remind you, members of the jury, of Mrs. Collins telling us of Mary's frantic cries begging her not to tell her father. Dominic Collins, members of the jury, is a man who called this baby an abomination, a defilement of his daughter's purity. He is a man who has revealed to this court a ferocious and obsessive passion for religious and sexual purity. When Mr. Collins found the daughter he loved, almost worshipped, had given birth to an illegitimate child, he was filled with a divine wrath, a rage so savage that it had to find an outlet. Now, we have heard of a row in the Collins house from the next-door neighbor, Mrs. Hill. Mr. Collins described the scene himself as being like the end of the world. A man of his convictions would feel no guilt in doing what he did. He strangled that child, wrapped it in a piece of blanket, and buried it in the garden. Members of the jury, in my submission, there is only one verdict in this case, the verdict of guilty.
Mr. Fry.
May it please your lordship, members of the jury. Emotional indignation makes for bad law and worse verdicts. We are here to consider facts and, to some extent, to assess probability. So let us look at the facts first. A child has been strangled. 3 people were in a position to have done it. Of these 3, 2 have in evidence confessed to the crime, while the third, Dominic Collins, has denied it. And yet the prosecution has not produced one single piece of evidence that points conclusively towards any one of the 3. The prosecution's entire case, in fact, appears to rest on the strength of the defendant's religious feelings. But, members of the jury, it is precisely these religious feelings which show Dominic Collins to be telling the truth. He is a fundamentalist. That is, he believes that the Bible is the prime source of all truth. Now, I submit that this is a sufficient explanation of his behavior, and that his reaction towards what he considered to be his daughter's defilement explains what happened. That he hid the body not to conceal a murder, but to hide what he thought to be his family's shame. However, if this seems to you to be too ready an assumption, I would ask you to consider a fact which the prosecution have chosen to ignore. The attention of Mrs. Collins, the attention of Mrs. Hill, the Collins' neighbour, was drawn to the burial patch because in the middle of the night, Mr. Collins had dug up a part of his vegetable garden. In the morning, there it was, 4 square feet of raw earth, clamouring to be noticed by the most casual of observers, by the most casual of passers-by. Now, members of the jury, would you do that if you wanted to hide a murder? Wouldn't you at least have dug over the whole of the garden and made it look as though some routine gardening work was going on? In other words, was not this the action of a man driven by his strange religious impulses rather than attempting to conceal a murder? As to the probabilities in the case, they are open to many possible interpretations. My learned friend would have you discount the confessions of Mrs. Collins and her daughter. She says that Mrs. Collins is temperamentally incapable of murder, and that Mary Collins would not have had the strength to strangle her child. But, members of the jury, in the law courts, we come to learn that nothing is impossible, that the most seemingly placid of beings are capable of violent action under stress. Who knows what Mrs. Collins and her daughter may have done when this illegitimate child made its sudden intrusion into their puritanical household? Did Mrs. Collins kill the child to save her daughter? Did Mary Collins kill the child, as she says that she always intended to do, to spare the feelings of the father who doted on her? These are but 2 of the possibilities. And since, on the evidence presented by the prosecution, you cannot be sure how the child died, since there is doubt, I submit that you have no choice but to bring in a verdict of not guilty.
Members of the jury, the first thing I must explain is our 2 roles, yours and mine. Now, my role is to inform you of the law and to give you what guidance I can on the evidence. But it is your role to decide on the facts, to decide whose evidence you can believe and accept, whose evidence or what evidence you must reject. Now, next, the law requires that the prosecution prove its case beyond all reasonable doubt. Now, the prosecution case is that the accused, Collins, deliberately strangled his daughter's newborn baby. And they must prove that beyond all reasonable doubt, so that if you have any doubt as to whether he did actually kill this child, then you must bring in a verdict of not guilty. Now, the issues, members of the jury, appear to be broadly these. Do you think that either of the 2 confessions which you have heard in the witness box can reasonably be true? Or do you believe that, beyond any reasonable doubt, the accused's written confession to the police is true? Now remember, in assessing the truth of Mrs. Collins' confession, that she now says that she killed the child before her husband entered the room, whereas she had previously told the police that the child was alive when her husband entered the room. And so far as Mary Collins' remarkable story is concerned, ask yourselves whether she could really be as cool and calm and collected as she makes out to be. It's not impossible that she has confessed to killing her child because she was prepared to risk the charge of infanticide rather than see her father be convicted of murder. What you have to decide, members of the jury, is whether or not Mr. Collins killed this child. You will now retire and consider your verdict.
All stand. All stand. The prisoner will remain standing. Members of the jury, will your foreman please stand? Just answer this question, yes or no. Have you reached a verdict upon which you are all agreed?
Yes.
Do you find the prisoner Dominic Edgar Collins guilty or not guilty of murder?
Not guilty.
Dominic Edgar Collins, you are free to go.
Court will